Hello everyone and welcome to another video. So Doctor Who's universe is a pretty big place. We obviously have the main TV show itself, but also various spin-offs in the form of TV shows, audios, comics and books. And the main show has also gotten expanded media for just itself, again through audios, comics and books. But what if I were to tell you that some fans, such as myself, like to believe that there's another TV show that is a part of the Whoniverse? That being, of course, Blake 7. Now on the surface, this might not make much sense. Blake 7 seems to be an entirely separate show, with merely some slight behind the scenes connections to Doctor Who, which we'll touch on in a bit. But there is evidence in Doctor Who's expanded media that backs up the idea that Blake 7 takes place in the same universe as Who. The first bit of evidence comes in the BBC Past Doctor Adventures novel Corpse Marker by Chris Boucher. This book serves as a sequel to 1977's Robots of Death TV story. In this book there is the inclusion of a character that had previously appeared in Blake 7, that being Carnell, who had been in the Series 2 or Series B episode Weapon. This was done deliberately by Boucher, who had also written that very episode. Carnell, like in the episode, is still a psychostrategist, and is a supporting character in the book. His appearance in Corpse Marker is supposed to be set 2 years after the events of Weapon, from his own personal perspective. There is then a second piece of evidence that Blake 7 is part of the Whoniverse. This comes in the form of an audio spin-off for both Who and Blake called Caldor City. This uses some elements from Chris Boucher's work, such as the Robots of Death and Corpse Marker, and the main character, Caston Iago, is repeatedly hinted to be one of the main Blake 7 characters, Kurt Avon. His background deliberately mirrors Avon's time with Blake in many ways, from stealing 5 million credits from the Earth Federation, or at least trying to in Avon's case, to travelling with fellow prisoners in an advanced alien ship, in a crusade against the Federation. Iago even found himself surrounded by Federation troopers on the planet Gouda Prime, reflecting the last we see of Avon in the final episode of Blake 7. As I briefly hinted at earlier, there are also some behind the scenes connections between Blake 7 and Doctor Who. Many of the people who worked on Who in the classic series also worked on Blake. Perhaps the most notable example is Terry Nation, who created Blake 7 as well as the Daleks for Doctor Who. But others include Michael E. Bryant, who directed some John Pertwee and Tom Baker stories, as well as several episodes of Blake 7's first series, and the aforementioned Chris Boucher, who wrote The Face of Evil, The Robots of Death and Image of the Fendal for Who, and then served as Blake 7's script editor, writing many episodes himself, including the final episode simply called Blake. Hell, future 6th Doctor actor Colin Baker once appeared in Blake 7 as the memorable villain Baban the Butcher, and Ian Levine recommended Richard Herndl play the first Doctor for the 5 Doctors to John Nathan Turner, after seeing his appearance in the Blake 7 episode Assassin, and thinking that he looked like William Hartnell. In terms of whether Doctor Who and Blake 7 have ever truly crossed over with each other, well, no, they haven't really. But that doesn't mean that it's never been thought of. You see, when it came to writing the finale for Blake 7's second series, Terry Nation had jokingly suggested that the alien force that Blake's crew and the Federation would fight against should be the Daleks. But scripts editor Chris Boucher and producer David Maloney didn't like the idea, and so we got the Andromedans instead. And Fourth Doctor actor Tom Baker and Blake actor Gareth Thomas actually became really good friends when they were working on their two respective series, and they once suggested that they should do a short scene where the Doctor and Blake run into each other in a corridor. They would briefly say hello to each other and then they would run off, continuing on to their respective adventures. This never happened, as Gareth Thomas later explained that the BBC didn't find it funny. But I think it says a lot that a crossover was, jokingly or not, suggested more than once. So I like to believe that Blake 7 is indeed part of the Doctor Who universe. There's even a way that it could fit in to Who's canon. The Terran Federation seen in Blake 7 could be a future twisted version of the Earth Empire seen in 1973's Frontier in Space, and then this could explain why colonies and worlds like Solos from 1972's The Mutants seek independence. This could be after the Empire abandons its former totalitarian Federation ideals and becomes more democratic and equal. But that's just my headcanon anyway. I'm sure some of you will no doubt disagree, and that's completely fine. As I said in my last video, there is no official word on matters like these, so we can believe whatever we want to believe. We can choose to consider Blake 7 a part of Doctor Who's canon or not. It is entirely up to us to decide for ourselves. But anyway, so there's my thoughts on whether or not Blake 7 and Doctor Who take place in the same universe. But what do you think? Do you agree with me that they do or not? Please let me know in the comments section below. And if you haven't already, I really would recommend you go and give Blake 7 a try. If you like Doctor Who's classic series, then you might very well like Blake 7 too, as they were made at a similar time. Blake 7 is just a bit darker and slightly more adult in tone. I'm sure most of you watching this will probably have already seen it, as, well, why else would you be watching this video? But still, if you haven't already, then I can't recommend enough that you give it a try. But anyway, so thanks for watching, I hope you liked it. Please don't forget to press that subscribe button below, as well as press the bell icon at the side of it, so that you'll stay notified of when all my new videos come out. This channel currently has 2,359 subscribers as of time of writing and recording this video, but if we can get to 2,500 by the end of this year, then I will do a Q&A, where you can ask me whatever questions you want. Just keep them polite, please. Also, please rate and comment below your thoughts on all of this, and please feel free to donate to my Ko-fi page, link in the description, or send me a YouTube super thanks below if you want to, of course. And you can also now join my Discord server, where we talk about everything from what if scenarios to Doctor Who and just whatever you want, really. You can find a link to the server in a pinned comment below, and I shall see you all in another video. So until next time, bye bye.